The advice that I would give to other gay couples who are considering becoming parents would be to take your time to look at all the different options. There's lots of different options. What works for one couple might not work for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think there's merits to lots of different routes to parenthood.
And get to know people who've done it, because that gives you confidence that it is possible.
I suppose I would advise people to, first of all, do some research into the clinic that suits them, and have realistic expectations, because the odds are against you, and it's not a success. Not every IVF cycle is a success. So yeah, just to kind of go into it with the eyes open, and that's difficult because you want to try and stay positive. But I think if you begin the journey thinking realistically about it, then it's possibly easier. And to go with the flow a bit with the whole process, and just go along to the scans and not get too wound up about them, to try and keep yourself sane.
You're able to apply for a parental order, which is the really big milestone from a legal perspective, after 6 weeks from the baby's birth. And essentially that's to allow for the birth mother, the surrogate, to recover from the birth, and it's essentially to make sure that she's in, calm and in sound mind and doesn't want to change her mind. It never happens. That was so not on our worry list. From a surrogacy perspective here.
I think if a couple is thinking about surrogacy, don't be put off by any horror stories or thinking it's not for me or it's too expensive, or it's what if the surrogate wants to keep the baby. I can assure them that's the last thing we want to do.
So the legal and financial elements of surrogacy in the UK are quite interesting, because surrogates aren't able to make any profit from offering to be a surrogate. So in our case, Anna, we were only able to pay her reasonable expenses, any expenses that were incurred as a result of her pregnancy, essentially. It's really important that the court doesn't view that we've paid too much to Anna, and it's all itemised and receipted. So it's quite a rigorous process.
Get information from clinics, get on to sort of good old Dr. Google and have a look at the options open to you. Find organisations within the UK that can help, and get as much as you can information. Get family members on board that will support you. You don't want sort of a battle. It's the stress of going through IVF is a stress alone, without thinking, oh God, I've got to explain to my family what I'm doing. Try and educate them as much as possible.
It's great to meet other gay parents, because it really helps you visualise what your life could be like. Because I think it can be quite difficult when you've grown up gay to imagine what a gay family can be like. So yeah, get to know people.
And go with the flow. I think with anything, it's very, very stressful if you're uptight about it or worried about it. Go into it, get all the information, and when you start a journey, enjoy it, because you'll have a far better outcome than if you're stressed about it.
It's hard, but I think it's really important to try and live as normal a life as you can when you're going through IVF.
Yeah. Ask all the questions that you have, because I think you have millions at the beginning of questions. Write them down and ask doctors and nurses whatever you want, so that you are fully informed about the whole process.